Hey everybody, it's Molly here. So before we start this absolutely crazy wild video, I just want to say that any ad revenue that this video generates is going to be donated to Planned Parenthood. This is a pro-choice channel. We don't tolerate any type of behavior that tries to regulate a woman's body and what she can and cannot do. So I just want to make that clear if it's not already. But yeah, I just wanted to say that first and foremost. So if you guys want to watch the ads, if you want to click on them, if you want to donate yourself, just please let me know that you guys donated on behalf of this video and this, what we're going to call a girl talk video. Sorry, this is my Bluetooth remote. So this is not going to be an ASMR video. It's just first and foremost, I'm going to say that. I asked you guys on my Instagram for any girl talk related questions. I said, you know, whatever you guys are too scared to ask. Also, I'm like looking at myself full on because I look good as fuck. Like, I don't know what happened. But anyway, I asked you guys to ask me questions, girl talk, whatever, relationships, anything that you're scared to ask. Nobody really responded. So I said, guys, make it juicy. And y'all fucking made it juicy. So if you know me, click off this video. If you're my family, click off this fucking video because I'm going to be answering some horrifying questions that you guys have asked, but I promised that I would answer them in good spirit. So let's just get into the questions. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, just go do that because this is how you're going to get to participate. But we're calling this girl talk, but it is inclusive to everybody, obviously, but I guess we could call it like real talk or something like that, just to make it a little more inclusive, because I feel like girl can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But just know that anyone was allowed to ask a question and y'all fucking delivered. Don't mind that psycho in the background. Okay, so I have my iPad mini. Only hot girls have iPad minis here. And we just need to get started into these questions. So first question is, do girls sometimes fantasize how their male friends would be as a boyfriend? I personally don't have any male friends, but I would just assume that any girl probably would if they had like romantic feelings for them. I feel like a lot of times people romanticize or fantasize about things and just as like a fun way to like pass the time, you know what I mean? Okay, how to flirt with a guy when you're shy. So I would just say try to shoot your shot in any way that you feel comfortable. That could mean, you know, maybe sliding in his DMs, maybe not saying something to him in person because that can be so uncomfortable, especially if you are shy. So I would just shoot your shot like online. That's what I've done 1,000 times. How soon before the Scorpios take over the world? Girl, we already run this bitch, so I don't really fucking know. How do I find a good man? Are there any even left? I truly don't think, no, I'm just kidding. I think that there are good men left in the world, but I think you have to put out good energy. Also, I'm sorry, like I'm kind of sick. I just think that you have to put out good energy in order to receive something good back. So take that as you will, but I think that there has to be like decent men out there. Like there have to be. Like there's literally, why am I sweating? There's literally like no other, like there can't not be good men left. Like that's all I'm saying. Okay. Are there consequences from not being seen as pretty from other women? Guys, the questions get like way juicier. Just bear with me here. This is from the first chunk of questions. Are there consequences from not being seen as pretty from other women or men? I don't think so, just because I'm pretty. I wouldn't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think you're probably treated a little bit different. Like people talk all the time about like pretty privilege and stuff, and I think it's so real. I don't look like this 24/7. I look like a hot mess most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and say that pretty privilege is real. And if you don't got it, baby, you don't got it. Should I do random hookups while I'm still getting over a heartbreak? Hello? Anyway, I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question, but I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah. What's that saying? The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. If it's good for you and you feel healthy and good doing it, then by all means do it. If you feel worse after you do it, then cut it right there. It's not worth it. Sometimes we need a little bit more time to heal, and sometimes it's just like we gotta get through this. You know what I mean? How old / young would you date? Is there an age that's too old? I think the oldest I would go, I'm 25, about to be 26. I was saying, I think the youngest or the oldest I would go is under 35. Like anything over 35, no thank you. And young, 22 maybe. Like I don't want to date like a 21-year-old, I don't think. I'm sorry. Okay. Needed to non-vent. I had an abortion with a man I was having an affair with. I feel guilty. That's a lot, definitely. I don't even fucking know what to say to that, to be honest. I don't know if you feel guilty that you had an affair with a man or that you feel guilty for the abortion, but everything happens for a reason and you made the choice that you did for a reason. So hopefully at some point you can come to peace with that. If not, I'm so sorry. Pray on it. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is where it starts to get a little juicy. Mama starts to sweat a little bit. Okay, do girls prefer receiving head or giving head to a man? Explain which and why. So I'm gonna go ahead and say both. I think that like I can't believe I'm talking about this, but like I think it's awesome to be able to like pleasure your partner, so I would think that it would go both ways. I think we definitely like receiving it more. I think anybody would, but there are those certain people who love giving. Maybe that's their love language, but yeah, I think it depends on the person and how they're doing, if they're doing it the right way as well. But I think it kind of goes both ways. Also, the absolute worst sexual experience involving one or the other. I don't think I think I've just had like bad experiences where people are doing things and it's just not the right thing that they're doing, and it's just like, okay, like we can kind of wrap this up, and they're like, nah, I got this, and you're just like, okay. This is asking about I can't even read this one. It's asking about like how to groom yourself. Razor, waxing, tweezers. I've always just used a razor. I've used like a shaving cream and a razor, and it's worked fine for me. I know people have issues with like ingrown hairs or bumps or whatever, and I've heard really good things about getting a wax. I've never gotten a wax before. I really want to, but I also can't like let my hair like grow out long enough to do that. So I just shave like every time I shower. Not every time I shower, but like every other time probably, just so it's not like too irritated. How many times did you fake an orgasm with each ex? Every single time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't fake things, because how's your partner gonna know that you don't like something if you're pretending that you like it? How much does money matter in a relationship? I don't think money matters, but I think that you and your partner both have to be at a very similar financial point in order to do things that you want to do. Like if you have certain expectations, or if you want to travel, or, you know, do things with your partner and they don't have the funds to do that, it becomes a little bit iffy, because then you're the one paying for everything, or vice versa. So I think you definitely have to be at a similar economic standpoint. I mean, obviously it's better if the man's got more money. I'm just kidding. But like for me, obviously, like I would want somebody who is equal or greater in terms of like financial, their financial situation, because like I have certain expectations, and like I want to be taken out and I want to be given gifts, and you know what I mean? Like what I would do for my partner, I would expect the same thing, and unfortunately that has to do with money. So what's the weirdest thing a guy or girl has said to you? I definitely have gotten some weird comments, but I think just like in general. Also, I am drinking a vodka soda, so I think the weirdest, probably just like in general, and I mostly get it on dating apps, and it's people who have like a redhead fetish. I know my hair kind of looks brown here, but I do have red hair. And people are like, oh, you know, I've never been with a redhead before, or like they just make it fucking weird. I think that's like probably the weirdest thing that's said to me, like person to person. But if you go through my YouTube comments, like some of that should be weird as fuck. Like, oh, can you do a video where you're like heavy breathing while showing your feet, and wearing a bathing suit, and I'm just like, girl, what? Have you ever tried rimming or let someone do it to you? What are your general thoughts on it? Is that where you like lick somebody's asshole? Because like, no. Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. No, we are not kink shaming here, but I do not want anything to do with anybody's asshole, and I don't want anybody to have any business in mine. Okay? That's just all I'm gonna say on that. How do you not get razor burn? I just use like a sensitive like shave gel, and then I used to use Bikini Zone, which is like something to help with irritation. I don't use it anymore. I just think my body's gotten used to shaving and all that, but just make sure that you're shaving, you know, with a clean razor, that you're getting really, really close, that you use a good shave gel. That's the only thing I can really recommend. Are you a spit or swallow girl? Girl, that's a little personal. Is there, like, there's only one way. Like, I feel like the other way is just, like, so awkward. Like, you're just making it weird. Just, like, get it down the gullet and let's go, baby. Anyway, I can't have kids. If we were dating and you found out during, would you break up with me? I personally wouldn't, because I don't see myself having children, especially with the fucked up world that we live in. I'm never having kids. So I wouldn't care, but I feel like that's definitely something that if you are dating somebody, you should definitely tell your partner about, because that can be very, very important to some people. OMG, what's your worst period experience? I always wanted one as a child. I can't with you. My worst period experience? I've never had anything embarrassing happening to me. Besides like me getting my period like during sex or something like that. Like that's low-key like so embarrassing. So definitely that, but I've never like bled through my clothes or anything like that. Just been really uncomfortable with my period. So what's the worst date you've ever had? Worst date I ever had was when I was 16 years old, and I went to a baseball game with a guy that I was dating and his family, and he was so fucking mean to me. He like didn't speak to me the whole time. He didn't even sit next to me. Like he made me sit next to his dad. He didn't kiss me. He like literally would not speak to me. And he like went up and got food, and like I wasn't hungry. And then he was like, oh, like you want like a hot dog or like something like that? And I was like, no, like I'm good, whatever. And then he was like, oh, you never eat around me, like you're just scared that you're gonna be fat, like you're already fat. Not like you're already fat, but he was like, you don't need to worry about your weight, like you clearly don't care about it. And I was like, okay. And then his dad was like, do you have a thyroid problem, like if you don't eat? I was like, bro, like I already ate dinner, like I didn't know we were gonna be like coming here to eat. And also he invited me last minute, but he did die, so rest in peace. What are your favorite self-care items or activities? Self-care, I love to read, and I just love to lay in my bed and do absolutely nothing. I also love to do my makeup, like full glam, just like get ready. And also self-care is making YouTube videos for me. Also, as a woman, do you find men who are bottoms in bed for women a turn off? I don't, like, do you mean like a guy who's like submissive? I've never encountered that. I don't know how I would react. I don't even know. I don't think that's my cup of tea personally. So yeah, I don't think that I would enjoy that very much. So this person said, how to spice up 5-year-old relationship with a child, work, house chores. I don't know. I've never had to encounter that, but I would think just like doing something fun with your partner, something spontaneous, like, I don't know, you come home, he comes home from work and you're maybe dressed up a certain type of way, or you get your makeup done, or you do your hair, just something like fun. Or you guys have a conversation like, oh, what's something you've always wanted to try, or like, what's like a fantasy of yours, and like actually like doing it. I feel like that would be a great way to like spice things up. That's just me. I don't know though. But like a 5-year relationship, like y'all should still have the spark. It's still there. Sometimes you just gotta work to get it back a little bit. I feel like people are put off by having sex on your period. Excuse me. I personally don't like doing it. I know a lot of people who do like it, and I know guys and girls who don't mind it. I also know guys and girls who are grossed out by it. I don't think as a man you have any right to be grossed out by it, because we are giving you our bodies and you have no say in that. Sorry. But I do understand it is a little weird. I would think, I mean, if you're desperate, go for it. It's just not my thing. I just feel very vulnerable, and I feel also gross like when I'm on my period. So like the last thing I want to do is like do that with somebody. But those last couple days, girl. Sex toys in a relationship, turn off for men. I dated a guy who was very insecure about like sex toys and stuff like that, and he didn't see them as like adding to anything. He saw them as like taking away from his own ability, which I think is really fucked up, because if you're trying to please your partner in any type of way, like you should do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to speak for myself, but from experience, guys like either really like them or they really don't. But I suggest you have a conversation beforehand before you whip something out, and just be like, hey, are you comfortable with this? And then kind of go from there. Does size really matter? I feel like that's the golden question. I feel like if you know what you got to do, if you know how to do what you need to do, you're fine. Trust me. Trust me. Do you expect us to always make the first move? I am also holding a spoolie that Jimmy just ate. I'm assuming you mean guys. I mean, I like it when a guy makes the first move. I know that guys like it when girls make the first move. So it kind of really depends on your personality. Like my personality, I would never approach somebody like in person, but like online, like if it's like through an Instagram DM or like something like that, like yeah, I'll do it. I don't really care. But like in person, I'm like, I don't think so. Craziest place you have had sex? Probably like outside. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay, that's not crazy though. Like people do that, right? Why am I answering this? Okay, what's an underrated / sexiest thing a girl can do to show confidence? Girl, you tell me. I don't fucking know. Can a guy answer that? Like, I don't know. I just feel like being yourself and not really caring what other people think. Like, whatever you can do to make yourself feel confident, like that's just gonna exude off, and like guys are gonna be like, oh, like she's a bad bitch. She's confident. She knows what she wants. Like, that's amazing. I feel like they'll respect that. Okay, this one just literally says, I literally can't come. I can't finish. So I think that if you're with a partner, you need to like talk to them about it, but also like on your own kind of explore what you're looking for, because like if you don't know your own body, how can you expect somebody else to know your body? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hope this video doesn't get demonetized, because then that would fucking defeat the whole point of it, but whatever. Most embarrassing moment while doing the deed. Also, I love you, girl. Like I said, probably like getting my period. And also one time I did get sick during a certain act. We had gone to dinner. I ate a cheeseburger and french fries. Like this was a long time ago. And you know, things were happening. I was just using different muscles in my body, and I ended up just throwing up. So that was probably the most embarrassing. And I said I was gonna take that shit to the grave with me, but like the grave's the internet, I guess. Would you ever bleach your asshole? Is that a real thing? I think it's a real thing. It definitely is a real thing. But I would never do it. Maybe I would. I don't know. Should I? What to do if sex hurts? Please help a girl out. It definitely shouldn't hurt. If it does hurt, please go see your doctor, because there could be a lot of other stuff going on. I forget what it's called, but there's like some disease or something that like makes like sex like very painful for women. Why can't I think of it right now? But yeah, I would definitely talk to your doctor, because it's not supposed to hurt, or the guy just doesn't know what he's doing. Can you tell us how you caught your motherfucking piece of ex cheating? Piece of shit ex cheating. I don't know if I told this story, but I guess I'll tell again. So I had been a little suspicious for a while because certain things were happening. But basically I went out with my friends one night and he was not answering like my texts or my calls. and he was claiming that he was like far away, like with his family. He had family in town visiting, and he was claiming that he took them somewhere and he didn't know where he was. He wasn't gonna be home that night, blah, blah, blah. And we were supposed to be going out to dinner. So I got all ready, and then he ditched. So then, I need a drink. So I ended up going out with my friends, and it came up to be like 1:30 in the morning. And I was just like, you know what? Like, fuck this. Like, I'm just gonna leave, go home. So I called an Uber, may have Ubered to his place. And I saw a car in his driveway. I saw his car in his driveway and another car. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, maybe his family's there. It was not his family. It was a car that I have seen there before, and I memorized the license plate because I didn't know whose car it was. And I knocked on his door. He wouldn't answer. I was blowing up his phone. He wouldn't answer. And finally, a nice young lady came and opened the door with her son in her hands. So I proceeded to freak the fuck out, to say the least. I punched a hole through his window, and he almost ran me over with his car. So that was really fun. And yeah, I was screaming at him. He wouldn't speak to me. And then it was like, yeah, but that's basically how I caught him. I was there, and he was having a little sleepover. So that was fun. How many boyfriends have you introduced to your family? Well, I've only had 2 actual boyfriends. So I've introduced both of them to my family and regretted it both times. So I'm never, unless I'm married, y'all won't know. Nobody will know. Recommendations for losing your virginity. Like who, what, where, when, and why, and how. Girl, it's just gonna happen. You can't plan for it. Just make sure that as long as you're ready, it's fine. You know, you pick the person, obviously. Make sure it's somebody that you're comfortable with. Don't just do it. I mean, you can just do it just to do it. I know people who just did it just to get it over with somebody they didn't really care about, and they either regretted it or they didn't. I regret who I lost my virginity to, for sure. No, I don't. Because it was like, it happened. It was my choice, whatever. But just make sure you're comfortable. That's literally all that I can say. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You can't like plan it out too much or think too much about it. But your time will come. And please, please don't rush it. Please. It's not worth it. What's with all these questions about ribbing? How often in a relationship is it normal to fake an orgasm? I'm going to say never when you're in a relationship, because you should feel comfortable enough like with your partner to talk about that stuff. If it's like a hookup or like a one night stand, like you might feel a little weird, like being like, hey, you know, just if it's one and done, just go get your rocks and go, even if you can't fucking get your rocks. But I would say in a relationship, never. You should always talk to your partner if you feel comfortable. Birth control and how that bitch fucks up everything, even your body odor. The birth control that I'm on has never done anything for me like horrible. I've never gained weight. It really regulated my period symptoms and my hormonal acne and stuff, but I did just switch birth control, so I'm nervous to see how that's gonna go. But it can really have some serious side effects that I feel like people don't talk about, and I feel like long term, like I've been on it for so long, I'm low-key probably like infertile right now, but it's fine. Okay. Don't you wish people came with a preview before dating them so you can get an idea? Yeah. I want to know who is going to be a lesson and who is going to be like good for me. You know what I mean? Do girls know what sloppy toppy is? I'm going to go ahead and say yeah. How important is it for a man to go down on a woman? It's so important, especially if they expect the same back. Then yeah, that's fucking important. Or just, I mean, obviously have like talk to your partner about that. Like communication is key, guys. I don't understand what y'all don't get. I'm just kidding. Ever had to take a plan B? No, I actually have never. Well, no, actually I've not. I've bought plan B for somebody else, but never myself. Well, they paid me back for it. Like this. Importance of being tested for all new STDs before engaging with a new guy or girl, even if condoms. Obviously, I think that STD testing is very important, especially if you do decide to start, even if you start seeing somebody exclusively, or you decide to not use like any sort of like protection, like actual physical protection. I think it's important for you to get tested and your partner to get tested and obviously share your results. That can't always happen, especially if it's like a one night stand or whatever. So just make sure that you are using condoms and you trust the person that you're with. And even if you do trust them, they could be a fucking liar. So just make sure that you always get tested. I'm terrified of BJ's. Any tips? Girl, don't be scared. Just go into it. Have a good attitude. Try your best. You know, he'll let you know. You'll know if you're doing a good job or not. Is it normal that I feel disrespected by the models my boyfriend follows? I talked about this in my other video, that relationship one. It's really tough in a time of social media and like all that stuff when your man is following like all these hot girls, whether he knows them or he doesn't know them, or he's like friends with them, or if they're Instagram models. It's hard to see, especially if he's liking their shit. I know that's tough for a lot of people. For me personally, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's their pictures. Like, they're not actually doing anything. Like, let your man admire a woman if he wants to. If you bring it up to him and say, like, this bothers me, and he doesn't fix it, then that could be a problem. But I just wouldn't try to think about it too much. They're models. Who cares? I follow some Instagram models, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, they're beautiful, you know? Like, sometimes you just want to look at something nice. They're not actually doing anything. And if they are, then fuck them. Why do girls get to know me then run away? Probably because you're weird. Will you ever start an OnlyFans? I don't think I ever will. Sorry. What's an appropriate way to ride? Back and forth or up and down? Girl, what's that one TikTok sound? Like, oh, side to side, back and forth. I don't know. Yeah, I can't answer that because I don't know. Talk about how vaginal douches are the devil and can even cause death. I literally don't even know what those are. I'm assuming it's like a one for back there, but one for up there. So I have no fucking idea, but damn. How do you keep that kitty so fresh and smelling so clean? Okay, girl. Obviously, take a shower. Take a shower every single day. Don't like sit around if you know you just went swimming or you just worked out or you feel like sweaty. Make sure you shower, change, like obviously change your underwear every single day. Make sure it's always dry. Just wash with like normal like soap and water. Like you don't need anything fancy. You don't need summer's eve. Like you don't need any of that shit. And also like to keep it like clean. I know people talk about a lot of times like, you know, you get like toilet paper in there or like whatever. Use like those like flushable wipes. That's what I like. Don't flush them, but like throw them out. But like that just keeps me feeling fresh too. Like literal baby wipes. But yeah, just making sure you're showering every day and you're just keeping yourself clean and putting on clean clothes. That's the only thing I could say. Would you date someone a friend has dated? This actually just came up recently. No, I would not. Absolutely not. I just feel like that's so weird. And as a Scorpio, I'm very possessive and I'm very jealous. So like to think that like, not only to think that someone has been with somebody else before me, but like that it's somebody that I knew and is a personal good friend of mine. No. I don't want anyone to be able to describe my man's penis to me. If I like feet, does that make me a freak? I don't think it makes you a freak. I don't think anything makes you a freak unless it's like actually fucking weird. But like a lot of people like feet. Like I don't, and I think I don't think it's weird, but it's just not my cup of tea. How do you feel about unprotected sex in the dating community? I think everyone needs to be really, really, really careful because it takes one time to fuck your whole shit up. So unless you really trust the person or get their actual test results or just know, you have a gut feeling if you can trust somebody or not. I would always get tested, and even get tested regardless of what they say. If they're saying that they're not sleeping around, whatever, just still get tested for your own sanity. Because like I said, one time can just fuck everything up, and it's not worth it to fuck up your health, you know? How to tell if you're fertile or ovulating and the difference. Girl, I don't know. I don't want to know when I'm fertile, like, because I'm going to freak out. But I know there are like ovulation tests that you can take. And you can track your cycle too if you are trying to get pregnant or if you're not trying to get pregnant. I know a lot of people track their cycles if they don't use like birth control, if they don't use condoms or like the pill or whatever. So they only have sex when they're not ovulating, I'm pretty sure. So I know people track like that. So you can do that on an app or like take ovulation tests too. How many partners have you had and what's an okay number to have? Girl, I'm not going to answer that. That's something I'm not going to fucking answer. But I don't think there's an okay number. Like, I don't think the number should matter at all. Like, you obviously chose to be with those people for a reason. Nobody has any right to know Of course, like if you want to know somebody else's, be prepared to have them hit you with that shit back. You can always lie. But, you know, you're going to get caught up because you're going to say you got 2 bodies and you're like, oh yeah, like that other guy, that guy that I, they're going to be like, wait a second, how many did you? So don't lie unless you really have to. But you should never be embarrassed about it. And also, like, whose business is it? Like, I like to know because I'm nosy. So I'm always prepared to give out the answer, just like if I ask it of somebody. But like, who really gives a fuck? Because everyone's going to fucking lie anyway. Oh God. Okay. So I think those were all the questions. So guys, that got a little weird. Did that get weird for anybody else, or was that just me? No, I'm just kidding. But thank you guys for participating. That was legit, like, so fun. If you guys like this non-ASMR style kind of video, let me know and I'll continue to do them. But like I said, anything that any ad revenue I make off this video going straight to Planned Parenthood, going straight to any organization that's helping with this pro-choice fight, because they're taking away our fundamental freedoms. Like, I truly cannot even believe it. Honestly, I mean, I can because of the fucked up world that we live in, but it's just crazy how not only a man, but like the government can think that they can tell us what to do with our bodies. Like, the fuck? Like, we're gonna do what we want to do, and we're gonna empower women and help women and help anyone who has a uterus, we're helping. So I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. If you want to talk to anybody, I'm always here in my comments and my Instagram DMs. I'm always on Instagram. So if you ever need somebody to talk to or you need help with something, please feel free to reach out. This is a total safe space. I want you guys to know that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.